Hey guys, what's up? It's Deprimido. Welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to show you how to make beats like this. So PluggnB, as you might have guessed, is mostly a mix between plug beats and R&B. If you want to know how to make regular plug beats, I covered that in last week's video. I'll link that up in the card in the corner. So usually PluggnB is going to be a little bit slower than regular plug beats. These are going to be from the range of about 135 to 155 BPM. I decided to go with 145 for this one. You definitely can work out of that range though. There's plenty of PluggnB songs that are out of that range. So for our main melody, we're pretty much always going to start with a Rhodes piano. And as with regular plug beats, almost all of these sounds are going to come out of this VST right here, which is called Purity. You're usually just going to want to lay out a pretty simple chord progression like I have right here. Usually you want to use a lot of extended chords. So as you can see, we've got a 9th chord right here, a 7th chord right here. If you want to know how to make extended chords, I also broke that down in my plug video. I'm not going to go over it here, but you can check that out in the last video that I did. So these progressions should usually sound pretty happy, just like plug beats, but they might be a little bit more melancholy or pretty than plug beats. Once you've got your progression laid out, you can just kind of chop it up to give it a little bit more rhythm like I have here. Then you can also throw in a top line, but it's not necessary. So this is what my main melody sounds like. Next, getting into the counter melodies, you're usually going to hear strings in these beats. And you're almost always going to hear a synth lead. And bells are also pretty common. As you can hear, the sounds that we're using in these melodies are very kind of cheap sounding. That's what's great about having Purity, is that it's full of those sounds. But if you don't have Purity, there are other VSTs you can use. Just kind of make sure that it fits the style. And you'll also notice that these melodies are usually very repetitive. So besides those sounds that I mentioned, you can pretty much use anything from Purity that sounds good. By the way, guys, make sure you go check me out on Patreon if you can. We've got an exclusive Discord server for the patrons, so we can all just kind of hang out there. I also post all the FLPs from the beats that I break down in these videos, so you can go in and get a deeper look if you want to. It's only a couple bucks a month and it really supports me, so definitely check that out if you can. But next, let's get into the drums. I just started with a hi-hat. Usually the patterns in PluggnB beats are definitely different than regular plug beats. You're usually going to have these double time patterns, and then it might have a few gaps in there. This is what mine sounds like. Next, I just added this clap. Another thing that's usually really different from regular plug beats is the 808s. For PluggnB beats, you usually want to pick sounds that are a little bit longer, have a little bit of distortion, and don't have too much attack. Besides that, the 808 patterns are usually pretty standard. Then we're usually not really going to have kicks in these beats. Usually with that type of 808 you would want a kick, but it's just not really something that's done in these beats. It's up to you though. If it sounds good, then go for it. In terms of snares, we're either going to use a trap snare or a rim. The patterns that we're going to do in these beats are usually very busy and repetitive. By the way, make sure you go follow me on Instagram. It's linked down in the description, and when I reach 2,000 followers, I'm dropping a free MIDI kit. And this is actually all that I added to the beat, so next let's get into the mix. Usually on your Rhodes, you're going to want to have it pretty washed out with reverb, so I just added quite a bit of reverb here. Then there was also just a harsh frequency in it, so I just ducked that out. Next on the strings, I also washed that out with reverb. Then on the 808, I just wanted it a little bit more punchy, so I added saturation knob right here. And those are the only effects. After that, I just leveled it. One thing I should mention is that usually in these beats, the clap is going to be very quiet. Then for the arrangement, it's nothing too crazy, very simple arrangement. So this is what the beat sounds like. So right up in the corner, I'm going to put a playlist of all of the type beat tutorials that I've done. Make sure you drop a comment and let me know what artist or style you want me to cover. But that's about it for this video. Make sure you drop a like and subscribe if you haven't already. Thank you all for watching. I really appreciate it, and I'll talk to you all in the next video.